When you imagine God inspiring the authors of Scripture, what comes to mind? Perhaps you've thought that because Scripture is inspired, it must evade human qualities. But the humanness of Scripture is overwhelmingly self-evident, and we don't really gain anything from trying to ignore it. The first section of the Doctrine and Covenants teaches us that these commandments were given unto my servants in their weakness, after the manner of their language, that they might come to understanding. Similarly, Nephi testified that God speaketh unto men according to their language, unto their understanding. When it comes to revelation, God doesn't hijack people's brains to force perfection. And even if he did, human language is inherently imperfect, so God must accommodate his messages to the understanding of his children. In a letter to William W. Phelps, Joseph Smith once remarked that writing was like a prison, almost as it were, of paper, pen, and ink, and of a crooked, broken, scattered, and imperfect language. Inspired authors attempt to explain experiences they truly believe they've had with God. But when it comes to telling the stories of God and his children, God typically lets them tell the story from their point of view. As biblical scholar Peter Enns put it, how they experienced God and therefore how they thought and wrote about God were filtered through their experience. Although speaking of the Bible, this principle also rings true for the unique scriptures of the Restoration.